Hi, this video is for Antonio and Natalie. I wanted to give you a couple of tips for you to practice during the break. And what I think that you should practice or focus on is on playing in the middle and the high register. So what I want you to do, and this exercise is very important, is that you focus on what we have talked about during the lessons, which is the placement of our tongue. Remember that we talked about that we need our tongue to be high in the back part of the tongue, like if we were saying E all the time. So we help our instrument and the overtones to produce the notes in the middle and the high register. When we don't get those notes and we get those, like low harmonics, even if we're using the register key, it means that your tongue is not high enough. The high part of your tongue is not high enough. So first, do this exercise that we were doing, just feeling the placement of your tongue. Say ah first and then e, and try to compare how's the position of the tongue with each of the vowels, and focusing in when you play in having your tongue in the position that you have when you say e instead of which the tongue is lower. So with the clarinet, the exercise that we should do, one of the exercises that work best for this is just to take every note of the instrument from the low register and then play the note that is produced by adding the register key. So, and always long with the metronome if you can. And so on. I'm doing here the chromatic scale, but you can use any other scale to do this. Just play the low note and without moving anything, just adding the register key, play the note that is produced by adding the register key. Which in this case, I was doing E, then with the register key is B, right? Then C, F, with the register key is C, F sharp, C sharp, and like that for the rest of the scale. It's very important that you focus on what is your tongue doing and what you need to do to produce actually the second note, the highest note, because it obviously feels different. And what we need to do is that to teach our body that feeling, that of that placement, and help our body to get used to. So I know it's not just talking about it, like telling you, okay, do this, but what you need to do is repeat many times, and so your body learn it that way, right? With muscle memory and remember, okay, this is the feeling that I need. So that's why we do many times, and we do in low notes, so you give your body the time to feel and remember that feeling. Go do this exercise as high as you can. So you use a lot of notes and you go through over the whole register of the instrument. Okay. The other exercise that I wanted to try to do is something that we talk about in the lessons too, and it's about the overtones of the harmonics. Remember that we talk about those notes, those squeaks that we usually have, that are not actually just squeaks; they're real notes that we produce because for some reason we changed our placement inside and we got the higher note. It sounds like a squeak because it wasn't the note that we really wanted, but it's something that we can do to help our body also to identify with those different placements that work and apply for the different registers of the instrument. So remember that we're doing this exercise when we play, for example, C, the low C without the register key, and we try to produce the highest note, the relative highest note with the register key, which is G, right? So in C, if you play the register key, we're gonna play G, but try to get that G without playing the register key, just by changing your placement here, like this. Sometimes a little bit difficult, and try not to slur the note, but attack. Use the tongue for every note, so it's easier to produce the overtone. You see, I'm playing G, but without the register key, just by accommodating here, and use the chromatic scale and to do the same. So now I'm doing C sharp and G sharp. A, D, and A. And like that. So if I'm able to do it, it means that my body perfectly knows how to place those notes, and I actually don't need the register key. If you're able to do that, once you play the note, the real note with the register key, it's gonna be the easiest thing in the world. So this is the other exercise that I wanted to try. Try to do it in a moment of the day when nobody's sleeping, because it's like squeaking all the time. But it's a really good exercise, and it's gonna help you guys to get stronger and get more comfortable with the middle and high register. Have a good holiday. Bye.